Hey, what's up guys? Tony here, and I'm bringing some more Battlefield 3, some jets. This is the Su-35B on Caspian border. And I don't know if you guys remember or not, but several weeks ago I put a tweet out there that I had an epic dogfight. This is the epic dogfight. I recorded it, luckily, because I think I was recording for the jet tutorial, the basics. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna record, and then I got this entire gameplay, and I didn't want to break it up actually. So I make some mistakes in this, which I'll tell you about when I get there. Typically, I don't like to do gameplay commentaries where I talk about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, but in the case of jets, and since people are having a hard time flying, I think it's appropriate. Now, this guy right here, the flaming ninja guy who just shot me down, or just killed me while I was on the ground, he quickly becomes my nemesis. I don't think he was the guy, or maybe he was the guy I shot down and then it crashed, because it seems like it. Like, there's a thing where you can kind of tell who the other person is. I don't know why. I was like, when I watched this over again, I was like, all I did was pull up, roll over. Yeah, maneuver I did was pretty stupid. But it looked cool. It looked like I knew what I was doing. Anyways, so this is what I was talking about in the basics, when you want to stay calm, because this was one of those games where there was a lot going on. I had people trying to shoot me down with stingers, helicopters were trying to shoot me down, I had 2 aircraft in the air, and I had a teammate that was doing, he was occupying an aircraft. That's all I could really tell that he was doing, because a lot of times you'll see that both aircraft, the enemy aircraft, are in the air. You know, I shoot down a couple guys. Now right here, I got hit, so I immediately went into evasive maneuvers, because I can kind of tell the guy that, from when I got hit, I'm like, okay, I think the guy that I want to shoot down, Flaming Ninja, is behind me. And so that's when I started maneuvering. And this is funny, because this is exactly what someone was talking about in one of my last videos, about how when both players have radar, it becomes this like ever-ending loop. And it's true, you're jockeying for position to get behind someone, get on someone's 6, tail end Charlie as it's called. And so there is oh, by the way, I'm using the ECM jammer. Terrible. I hate the ECM jammer. It's so stupid. It just doesn't work. The flares are the best thing, so once you unlock the flares, never turn those things off. Unless you want to use like maintenance or something like that. I've never tried maintenance before. Which is a fire extinguisher function. So once you get hit and you're flaming, you can hit square or X, I think it is X, on the controller, on the Xbox controller, and you'll basically heal yourself faster. Right now, as it stands, an aircraft cannot heal itself. Once you get to 50%, you start to slowly lose percentage points in health. So as long as you don't get down to 50%, you can heal yourself as you're flying around. Anyway, so wow, okay. Tangent time. That basically, yeah, use flares. Don't use anything else but flares, because the ECM jammer sucks. You'll see later on why I set the ECM jammer off. It's supposed to work like flares, where you lose lock, but I still get hit by 2 missiles. Okay, so what you notice right here, what I did is, what's up, cat? What I did is, I disabled that guy, and I'm just going to let him go, because once you disable an aircraft, they're going to go down. And so I go in to shoot down this guy, who ends up being Flaming Ninja. But yeah, once you disable an aircraft, they're going to go down, unless they have the fire extinguisher. But more often than not, they're going to go down. And so I cut a bunch of stuff out, because I was trying to shoot down shoot at some ground targets and get some more points. But these guys came back up in the air really quickly, and there wasn't really anything to shoot at, to be honest. So 2 things I'll say. I decided to try to use something besides air radar. It is a must. Radar is a must flying. So if you don't have it yet, keep plugging at it, this thing, and you'll get it. What I'm thinking about doing, and maybe you guys will like to see this, I'm thinking about doing sort of like a road to Service Star 1 with jets, where I go with my Miolo account and I jump in there and I play and I record every game until I can get that first Service Star. Basically when you unlock everything, so you guys can see like how I'll go from having absolutely nothing to having everything. So if you guys would actually like to see that, I can maybe live comment, I'm not sure. I'll have to cut it up though, because these are really long games, and I cut this thing up a lot to get it down to less than 15 minutes. So anyways, wow, I've been talking and I totally have like lost where I am in this game, as I'm like having to watch it. but pretty much the same rules apply. Actually, you know what? Here, let me tell you this. I get to a point where I get pretty damn frustrated with this game because I did have the guided missiles attached, and I wanted to be a team player. I wanted to shoot out ground targets, but this air battle was becoming so intense, and I was starting to take it a little personally, to be honest. I switched to the heat-seeking missiles. So you'll see that later on, I think, after I die. This is a big mistake right here. I visually lost the guy who was dogfighting with, and so as a result, I go to take out this chopper who's been harassing me all the game, and Flaming Ninja comes back and he just kills me. So I'm already down. Now I'm down 1 to 2 kills. This is when I started taking it a little personally. So I switched to the Heat Seekers, and now I'm in like total dogfight mode. Okay, so no longer am I going to be messing around with ground targets. I am an absolute liability to my team on the ground because I'm not taking objectives. I can't defend objectives. I can only really shoot down helicopters, which can help out your ground troops, and the jet aircraft, which really don't have any influence on the battle at all. They're just sort of there to make noise and such. Yeah, I totally ignored my advice, and this is what I mean by I started to take it personally. I started to not. You get out of that mindset where you're thinking clearly and you're doing it more on like pride, I guess. Because I saw the guy stall, but I totally chased him up there to get a kill, and I stalled it as well. So instead of getting an easy kill, I stalled and the guy gets away. So I saw that he didn't have flares, so I'm just going to go ahead and use some missiles on him. And this is weird. I hit him with 2 missiles, and he just gets disabled, which is really... He should have been destroyed, like, flat out. Oh, okay, right there. I saw that. You turn into an aircraft that's trying to lock onto you, and like that, they'll lose lock. So if you can identify which aircraft is trying to lock onto you, you can lose the lock by flying right at them, because then they can't lock on you if you pass them by. I mean, the helicopter can, of course, like pivot 180 or just spin and try to maintain lock. But if you're just flying, you just fly a certain distance away from a helicopter, they'll lose lock. And so there's that helicopter's been harassing me. This is a Flaming Ninja guy, I can kind of already tell. And you'll see me use third person a lot in this one, just because it's kind of necessary to like maintain. And here's a missile. Like maybe that's how the ECM jammer is supposed to work. It's quite successful, but though you'll see later what I'm talking about. I wish I was recording live because I was like, what the fuck? There you just told me to pull another split S to get on that guy's tail, and I really want this guy bad, and I've sort of got my I got my claws dug into his back, and so when I got him, I was like, yes, 2 and 2. We're 2 and 2 now. I still have that helicopter on my ass though, but there's more jets in the air, so it's just one of those situations where I'm trying to prioritize who's the biggest threat, and that's kind of what you want to do when you're flying. Like, who's the biggest threat? Is it a ground target? Is it a helicopter? Is it another jet? And I think right here I almost stall again. Yeah, that's just me getting up towards the ceiling. I really wish they'd raise the roof. I really wish they would increase the service ceiling for these aircraft, because you really can't go that high. And I do that a lot, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I run into aircraft when they're disabled because they're weaker than you, and you can take them out just by running into them. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Anyways, I had to skip through some more. Just, when there's no aircraft in the air, there's really nothing to do besides fly around, especially if you have heat seekers attached. This is a bad maneuver. What I'm doing, pulling to the left to get around on them. I should have pulled up to gain altitude, because altitude is an advantage, but it does work out because I'm able to pull on this guy's 6 and help defend my teammate. There's a helicopter there again. So it's one of those things you want to, like, the first reaction I have when someone's shooting at me or getting into some sort of a dogfight is to climb, get some altitude, and you can have more room to maneuver. You can pull split S's, you can do the, oh, there we go, got the Flaming Ninja, so we're 3 to 2 now. I got the lead. Yeah, you want altitude. I tried to take out the chopper by running them, but you want the altitude so you can have room to maneuver. You can't go up. I mean, unfortunately in this game you can't go higher, but you can always go lower and gain speed and get away. So yeah, try to think about that. So try not to think in terms of lateral movement. Try to think in terms of vertical movement. You've got this entire environment you can work with. So don't be stuck into like, I can only turn left, I can only turn right. You can go up, down, left, and right. You got rudder controls. You can spin. You can. This guy's actually pretty good. It's like, you know, I send him a message at the end of the game. I tell him we had a really epic dogfight. So that's my 4th kill on him. So I'm up, what, 4-2 now? I'm feeling a little bit better. Like, the guy had me super worried, and I was a little excited there. But he had me really worried because I was going against a good pilot, and so I felt like I had to have my A game on for this guy. This guy right here, this segment, I believe it is. This is how you want to be. Like when I talked about in the basics, be slippery. This is how you want to be slippery when you're in a dogfight. If you're getting shot at, you can't seem to lose somebody. Don't call me a liar, Tony. Yeah, see how he's spinning like that? He's becoming a very hard target to hit. So if you're gonna roll like that while you're flying, that makes you so much harder to hit. But when you are turning and you expose your entire airframe like this, see how he's spinning? He's a very hard target to hit. That's the smart pilot right there. But he does make, here's the thing. He's so hard to hit, I'm like, fuck it. Let him go at range. He doesn't have flares. I'm just going to shoot his ass down with missiles. So I get to choose my dogfight. I get to choose my engagement. And then, of course, I get him right here. But the thing is, though, is that's exactly what you want to do. When I meant be slippery, he's actually very good at that. Maybe he was just doing it by dumb luck, and I stalled. This is what I'm talking about. I got the ECM jammer out, and I still get hit by 2 missiles. So I was kind of like, what the fuck? I'm pretty sure my neighbors appreciated my cursing, so if I had the fire extinguisher, that'd be a situation where you can totally just put it out and continue flying and rejuvenate your health. But anyways, the point of that is, again, use the flares, but be slippery like that guy. Be smart about your maneuvering. I think he got a little panic there because he stopped his movements. Either that or his aircraft was highly damaged because he became an easier target to shoot down, as you guys saw. And also, when I was talking about, make sure you fight to your strengths. The guy clearly didn't have flares, and I was having a hard time shooting down my missiles, so I'm like, fine, go ahead and escape, because I'll just shoot you down with my missiles. So that's kind of heads up thinking on my part, and on any pilot's part who's going to be doing any sort of air flying. You know, fight to whatever your strength is. You know, if you're really good at dogfighting, go with that. If you're bad at dogfighting and you need points, try to shoot at choppers. You know, if you get missiles, you know, they're a lot easier to shoot down, but they've got flares too, so you're going to have to eventually get close or team up with somebody else to fire multiple missiles at this guy. So again, the suggestions, if you guys need help learning how to fly, the only thing you really can do is jump in there and fly, and you might get shot down a lot by guys like me or anyone who has any sort of experience flying in this game. But if you play it long enough, eventually you get the points. You're gonna get the flares. Once you get the flares, though, it is like a game changer. Huge. Like, I don't really use, and this is me kind of being a dick, I'll be honest. Like, I was so didn't want that guy in the air, and then actually, to be honest, as the game continued, I was like, God, I actually kind of want that guy in the air because it made it exciting. So anyways, guys, you'll be able to take a look at the stats here in a second, and you'll be able to see the message I sent to this guy. You know, I was actually like, wow, this guy is really good. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Later.